The year was 1983, and the Camaro was stepping into its second year of the new third generation. The design was already sharp and modern, but Chevy wanted to make it even better. Small updates were added to improve the car's style and comfort, but the real excitement was under the hood. This was the year Chevrolet introduced the Crossfire injection V8, a big change for muscle cars of that time. Instead of only using old carburetors, Chevy gave the Camaro a new fuel injection system, making it more advanced and a little more fuel-friendly. Fans could still choose from 3 trims: the simple base model, the stylish Berlinetta, and the sporty Z28. Each one gave the Camaro its own personality. The 1983 Camaro showed that muscle cars could grow with the times while keeping their power and style alive. The year was 1983, and Chevrolet's Camaro was only in its second model year of the all-new third generation, but it was already carving its place in automotive history. The redesigned 1980 Camaro had made waves with its sleeker, more aerodynamic body, lighter weight, and improved handling compared to the bulky second-generation cars of the 70s. Now, for 1983, Chevy's task was clear: refine the formula, fix the little issues, and keep Camaro competitive in a world that was rapidly changing. At the heart of the 1983 Camaro story lies the Crossfire injection V8 bold experiment in early fuel injection technology. It was Chevrolet's attempt to bring modern engine management into the muscle car world, and though it wasn't perfect, it represented a major step forward for Camaro and for the American performance scene, a continuation of the third-gen revolution by 1983. The Camaro was still fresh from its 1980 redesign. Gone were the sharp edges of the 1970s, replaced by a sleek hatchback profile, slanted nose, and wraparound glass that screamed futuristic. The car looked every bit the 80s sports coupe and reflected a new age of American muscle. Buyers had 3 main trims to choose from: base model, affordable and stylish. Appealing to younger drivers, Berlinetta, marketed as the luxury Camaro, with comfort-focused touches, C28, the performance star, carrying the muscle car torch forward. In 1983, Chevy didn't throw away the playbook. Instead, it fine-tuned details. New color choices, trim refinements, and slight interior improvements kept the Camaro lineup fresh, while engineers focused on giving buyers more options under the hood. The Crossfire injection V8, a bold experiment. Perhaps the most fascinating update in 1983 was the continued use of the Crossfire injection system. First seen in the 1980 Camaro Z28 and Corvette, Crossfire was Chevy's early attempt at electronic fuel injection system using to throttle bodies feeding into a cross-shape intake manifold. On paper, it sounded like space-age performance. The 5.0 LV8 with Crossfire injection was rated at 165,175 horsepower, which may not seem huge today. But in the early 80s, when emissions rules and fuel economy concerns had nearly killed muscle cars, it was respectable. The Crossfire V8 gave the Camaro smoother throttle response than a carburetor and hinted at the fuel-injected future all cars would eventually embrace. However, reality didn't quite match the hype. The Crossfire system earned nicknames like Ceasefire injection from mechanics, since it was notoriously tricky to maintain and offered only modest performance gains. Still, it gave Camaro buyers a taste of modern tech, and for enthusiasts in 1983, that alone was exciting. Engine options beyond Crossfire. Of course, not every buyer wanted or could afford the futuristic V8. The 1983 Camaro engine lineup included 2.5L Iron Duke I for 290 horsepower, economy-focused base engine, 2.8L V6 with 102 horsepower, a balance between economy and smoothness, 5.0L V8 4-barrel carb minus 150 horsepower, traditional power choice, 5.0L V8 Crossfire injection, 165 to 175 horsepower, top performance option. Buyers could pair these with either a 4-speed manual, 5-speed manual, or 3-speed automatic, depending on the trim. The Z28, with the Crossfire V8, was still the halo model of the lineup, keeping Camaro's reputation alive even in the muscle car's darkest years. The Berlinetta Camaro goes futuristic. While performance fans focused on the Z28, the 1983 Berlinetta took Camaro in a very different direction, aimed at buyers who wanted comfort and flash over horsepower. The Berlinetta was loaded with unique touches, the most memorable its futuristic Starship-style digital dash and control pod, which would fully debut in 1984 but was already in development during this time. Even in 1983, the Berlinetta stood out with gold accents, wire wheel covers, and a softer ride. It showed that Chevy wanted Camaro to be more than just a performance car. It was also a fashion statement of the 80s. Camaro in pop culture and competition. By 1983, the Camaro had already become a fixture in pop culture. It appeared in movies, TV shows, and magazines, symbolizing youth and performance. It was also the weapon of choice for IMSA and SCCA racing, where Z28s with Crossfire engines competed on road courses across America. Meanwhile, the Camaro faced growing pressure from its Detroit rivals, the Ford Mustang GT, especially with its 5.0 liters high-output V8, was making headlines again. Pontiac's Firebird Trans Am, sharing much of its DNA with Camaro, was grabbing attention thanks to Knight Rider fame. To stay competitive, Chevy needed Camaro to feel both modern and muscular, and 1983 delivered just enough of both to keep buyers coming. Sales and legacy. The 1983 Camaro sold well, proving that the third-gen redesign was a success. Buyers loved the car's futuristic looks, hatchback practicality, and wide range of trims. While the Crossfire V8 didn't revolutionize performance, it showed that Chevy was willing to experiment and innovate, even during tough times for muscle cars. Looking back, the 1983 Camaro is remembered as a year of refinement and experimentation. It didn't bring a radical overhaul, but it solidified the third-generation Camaro's place in the market. It was a bridge between the raw, carbureted past and the high-tech, fuel-injected future of American performance cars. Conclusion: the 1983 Chevrolet Camaro may not have been the fastest or most glamorous muscle car of its era, but it represented resilience. With the introduction of the Crossfire injection V8, minor styling updates, and a lineup that ranged from economy-minded to performance-focused, it proved that the Camaro could adapt to survive in the modern age. It was the calm before the storm, the quiet evolution that would eventually lead to the beloved IROCZ and beyond. Today, collectors and enthusiasts look back at the 1983 Camaro as a quirky, transitional model that helped keep the Camaro legend alive when many thought muscle cars were gone for good.